You notice sometimes we have to slow coaches. They're excited to be with the media. Our next coach is Katie Abrahamson Henderson from the University of Georgia, being her third year as the head coach at Georgia. Some background that I've learned. Katie was an all-state swimmer back home in Iowa during her high school days, competing in the 50-yard freestyle, the 100-yard freestyle, and the freestyle relay. When she wasn't swimming back then, she averaged 44 points per game on the basketball court, which led to a college basketball career, time at both Iowa on a great team under Vivian Stringer and Andy Landers at the University of Georgia during her playing career. Just to note, her husband Michael is a Harlem Globetrotter, has worked as a basketball official in both the NBA and the WNBA for several years. Welcome Coach Abe from the University of Georgia to the stage.
I believe we'll go straight to questions.
Michael Phelps is my cousin. No, I'm just kidding.
If you have a question, raise your hand, and we'll get one of the remote mics to you. And remember to identify yourself and the outlet you represent when you ask your question. Let's just start on the front row.
Caroline Mikowskis, Lexington Herald Leader. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
You signed 4 top 100 freshmen. Can you speak to the process of trying to instill your system and teach a group of really talented newcomers?
Yeah, last year, signed the top. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big foundation coach. I really like to build the foundation, and I'm all about empowering women. And my coaches and I do a really good job of development, and so I've always been that way. And usually our players stay with us. They don't usually hop into the portal, and so that's just kind of what we're comfortable with, and we're a big family. So, and this class coming up is going to be a really good class too.
Next question on the fourth row on the left.
Wilton Jackson, the Knicks. Coach, you get a player like Roxanne McCullough. Could you speak to a little bit about her and what she's going to bring to your program?
She's our secret weapon. Well, she's not anymore, but actually Roxanne, we recruited her at UCF from Canada, and she ended up going to Purdue. And then obviously when the portal opened up, and we didn't have to sign as many in the portal this year, we went after her right away because she's really fits our style of play. She's really aggressive. She, defensively, she's really defensive minded. She's going to be on the front of our press. I mean, and she's just, our type of young woman that education is really big to her. She's getting her master's degree, so I love that about her. She speaks 3 languages, so she's pretty cool that way. But she's been a great addition to our team, just in leadership and how she plays and everything. So too bad she's not our secret weapon anymore. But obviously, some of the first games, you're going to see why we brought her to Georgia.
Other questions? If you'll raise your hand, we'll get a floor mic to you. Let's go to the second row in the middle, and then right behind the third row.
Good morning, Katie. Kevin Skarbinski from the SEC blog. Last year, very uncharacteristic, obviously, for Georgia and for you in your career. How did that season, did it change you? Did it change your philosophy at all? And how did it motivate you and the team for this season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, our first year, we brought our culture in. I'm going to talk about culture all the time. Our second year, it was kind of like our first year, if it was natural, recruiting and process of going into a first-year head coach. So, obviously, all of us learned a lot from that season, especially our coaches. And so now, really, our culture's in. Everybody that's at Georgia right now, my coaching staff has recruited, and it's kind of like the energy and everything in practice is way different. So we're at that point where now we just keep, building the blocks and building everything that we're doing. And I mean, it's kind of an incredible energy this year. A lot of people walk in and they're like, whoa, like I can see this. This is exactly what Abe's teams are like. So this year's really fun.
Good morning, Coach.
Yep.
Brad Harvey from College Sportscast. I wanted to ask you about your transfers. You brought 2 in.
Yep.
One of them is here with you today, and I just wanted to speak a little bit about your 2 transfers.
Okay. Specifically, what do you, because I got all kinds of things I know about them, but just specifically.
Just what they bring to the team,
Yeah.
What you're expecting from your 2 transfers and how they can help your team this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Roxy's going to help A lot. She's very dynamic, she's really strong. She's a seasoned vet. She's been playing for 5 years. So, I mean, just coming onto our team with Asia and all of our upperclassmen, she's just been a breath of fresh air for all of them. I mean, her basketball IQ is really, really good. So she's really been doing a great job for our freshmen and just helping our young kids. And obviously, we only signed 2 portal kids, 2 transfer kids, because we want to really build foundation with freshmen, you know, and players that want to stay for 4 years at Georgia. And I think that's personally the way Coach Abe wants to do it. Naya is from Kentucky, knew her obviously when we played against her, same kind of young lady, just great experience, has played in the SEC, knows the SEC, had a great coach at Kentucky, and you know, we needed another post player on the floor, so she's bringing all kind of the same things that Roxy's bringing, just the basketball IQ is really big, and so when you have, you know, 4 freshmen coming in, you need a lot of people that have a lot of really good basketball IQ and a lot of positive energy and great leadership, and actually that's what they both bring to us.
Other questions, raise your hand. Let's go back to the second row right here in the middle.
The SEC didn't just add 2 programs; they added 2 very quality programs.
Yep.
Obviously, is that something that you look at? Do you do some off-season scouting with new
Yep.
programs coming in,
Yep.
and then focus on yourselves until you get closer to game time and you really dig into the scout?
Yeah, definitely one game at a time. Obviously, I've known both coaches for years. Obviously, I don't know if you know, I was in the Big 12, so I obviously I know both the schools very well, and Coach Schaefer very well. So it just strengthens the SEC. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. Have I watched film on them? Absolutely not. But I've watched everybody over the years. I'm a basketball person, so I think they're just a great addition to the SEC for sure.
Other questions, please raise your hand, and we'll get one of the mics to you. Okay, front row on the left.
Hey, Coach. AP Stedham, AP and Kelly, as we see it. Coach, what needs to be done overall with your team to make the improvements in the win column?
Well, we got to stay injury-free. We had 2 ACLs last year. That did not help us at all, and that's not an excuse, but obviously staying healthy. And so we really have, in the off-season, been in the weight room, injury prevention, you know, making sure that we're taking care of their bodies. We actually really use those catapults a lot. You know what those are? The things that they put on, it's a new thing. But they put them on their back, and it tells how much, you know, they're putting out. And so we've really been trying to follow those things because the season's very long, and you know, we want our bodies to stay healthy and understand that we don't want a lot of injuries this year. So I think that's, you know, the first thing. And then I think, you know, just great leadership. I mean, Asia Avenger's been an amazing leader for us, and so has Roxanne. They've been really 2 great leaders for all of our underclassmen, and I think that's super big to have that. I always say if your best players aren't your hardest worker, you're not going to have the best team. But now our best players are our hardest workers, and so everybody underneath them follows them. You know what I mean? So I think those 2 things are going to be big.
Other questions? Raise your hand, please, if you have a question. And last call. All right, Coach, thank you. You can
Thank you,
move on to
boss.
your next stop.
All right, thank you.